Oh, damn. Okay, well, it didn't record the audio for that. Ah, that was so. Okay, damn it. Okay, but we're back.
Hello, everyone. What episode are we on now?
We're on episode 9.
Episode 9. And it's me, Alex. Nice to see everyone.
It's nice to see you too. And
Here with Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today on this fine. What day is it?
Saturday,
Saturday?
June 27th,
The 27th of June.
2026. Anyway, it's a lovely Saturday.
It is.
Beautiful day to play this game and do episode 9.
Orders?
So, we do have our ships here, the trade ships, which we are sending to the Straits of Madagascar. We have taken. My hope, Alex, is to get everyone over to India and start the land invasion there by 1720. By 1720, we need our ships at least on their way. Because what happens here in the game, for those who don't know, is that India, like the Grand Campaign is awesome. You get to play whatever country you want, right? It's awesome. And then something happens in about 70 more turns. And Mysore is defeated. The Maratha Confederacy, which are these like kind of tan brownish colors, go to war with the Mughal Empire. They win, and then the Maratha Confederacy doesn't stop there. It just takes Persia, takes the Middle East, and continues up Russia, and then the game freezes every time. Because we have to go through all these countries every time we press the end turn button. Excuse me, everybody. I'm just ranting now because it makes me so sad. Like every single time, if you don't, and what I've tried now is trying to defeat India first, so that doesn't happen. Because you can't do anything about it. You can save the game, restart the game, and then each turn it will take at least an hour. And sometimes it won't render, and you just have to turn off your computer manually. It's like insane.
Really?
Yeah, so there's a big problem with the campaign on this game, which leads me to just like rage quit, and then like a year goes by and I long for the like I long for the in real life.
Oh.
I long for like a playthrough of this game because it's a good game. It's fun. It's old, but it's fun. But that one mechanic, oh God! If they could just solve that, some developer needs to get in here and just tweak a few things so that we can have a game that doesn't freeze on itself. And the other thing probably would happen with Russia because it's so massive. It started to do that a little bit in my last playthrough with, I think it was Poland, Lithuania, and they just like took all of Europe. Eventually what's going to happen here is Spain is going to take Morocco. They're going to take the northern tip of Africa, and they're probably going to take all this. And they have already territories here and in Milan and in Naples. So they pretty much have a good hold on Italy, and they also have now territory in Europe. And that's mostly because they're getting a ton of trade cash from pretty much owning all of South America. Cuba, New Mexico, yay! Little Santa Fe over there, Texas. And then France has got a bunch of territories up here,
That's
which
where it's at, honey. Santa Fe.
I know we got to get there. Now, the one crushing reality is that it's hard to get there. If you want to get there, you have to spend a lot of money on a land war that never ends. And then it's pretty much like you don't get anywhere after that.
Huh.
So what I'm trying to do, what the game seems to want me to do desperately every time I play this, is seriously commit to trade nodes. These guys, like for example right here, we only have one trade ship in this
Oh,
group,
hell yeah.
but on
What's holding you back?
this line, this trade lane, we're taking goods from Brazil, and we're making $220 just from one trade ship. And then
Where to, Captain?
we have 10 trade ships. It's making us $1,600.
We need more.
So if you own all of these nodes together, I think you get a bonus plus what you're already making, which could be upwards of, at minimum, 5,000 coin.
I think this is one of the ways how England in history really actually made their wealth. And what years are we in?
We're in the years of 1716.
Shall I look at history?
Yeah. Whip open the old cell phone. Let's go to the World Wide Web. Now owned by AI. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay.
Okay.
Gemini's pretty clutch, I have to say. We're going to see what crazy events happen in this time. So I think that the game truly wants us to become masters of the trade, which, you're right, historically was what Britain did the best. Tiny island, but they controlled the money. The money. So then back at home here, we are trading with Spain. We're still at peace with them, and France as well. One thing that we did do in the last couple of playthroughs was the United States are pretty much trimmed down to one state of New York. In that region is their stronghold. We have taken 2 territories from the Iroquois, and I think they are down to their last territory here in Detroit. Nicely, the Protestant missionaries from the 13 colonies are doing us a favor. This gives us a really excellent opportunity. And let me tell you why. This game also pushes you early game to take the Cherokee territories and the French territories up here. If you do that, you engulf and command then all of the 13 colonies territories. They are taken in by our country. So that's kind of where we're at. In terms of technology, I am trying to build, we are not trying, we are building a school, a third school. So we will have 3. What I really want for us is to become strong, like the strongest technologically, because that's the only way you're going to win a military campaign, let's be honest. Copper Bottoms is underway, and once we research that, again, it's plus 10% top speed of ships in battle. Our ships are faster. They have plus 5% movement range for ships on the campaign map. That's enormous. We can tactically retreat from enemies and get away from them. But it also makes the cost of all those naval units higher. Copper doesn't come for nothing. Well, we are also researching fire by rank, and I've been yelling about this for the last few episodes because it's so huge against pretty much everyone going forward. And it will definitely be an enormous asset when we jump into India. We're going to be alone out there. We're going to be alone out there with infantry, and they're going to have to hold their own against hordes of camels and horses and men with long swords, and it's going to be terrifying. And we have only our guns to save us, so we need the best guns, the best tech. So now that we've said all that, looks like they've got one.
This is also beautiful.
What's going on in 1716?
I looked up a lot of stuff. And I just typed in. The first thing I typed in was 1716 reigning monarch of England, and it gave me this. In 1716, the reigning monarch of England, officially the Kingdom of Great Britain, was King George I. He was the first British monarch from the House of Hanover and ruled from August 1714 until his death in 1727. So that's who was reigning at that time, okay?
Edward. Did you say Edward?
George the First. King George the First. He ruled from August 1714 to 1727.
Okay.
And in the game we're in 1716.
Wow.
Then it gives some more facts about the man, the king, or whatever. Okay. The next thing I asked was, what was his wealth and what was the way they got the most of their income?
Oh, cool.
And King George I's personal wealth is difficult to quantify in modern terms because the concept of separating a monarch's private finances from state funds was not fully developed during his reign. However, his primary and largest source of income was a guaranteed annual parliamentary grant known as the civil list, which was set at approximately 700,000 euros, equivalent to hundreds of millions of dollars today.
Wow.
And then it goes on to talk about and brought in on those things, which are the primary sources of income, such as the civil list. This was his single largest source of funding. Then hereditary revenues. Before George III permanently surrendered these lands to the government in 1760 in exchange for a fixed salary. George I directly pocketed the rental incomes, custom duties, and excise taxes generated by the massive crown estate holdings.
Wow.
And then the Duchy of Lancaster. George I inherited the Duchy of Lancaster, a private estate consisting of thousands of acres of land, agricultural properties, and urban investments. The net revenue surplus from these lands went directly into his private pocket, the privy purse. Okay, and then there's the South Sea bubble scandal. You guys can go ahead and Google that on your own if you want. And then I searched. What I mean is, how much did he earn for his kingdom? And he earned 5 million to 6 million euros annually. And then I looked up what was happening historically at that time in terms of England and other countries / kingdoms and stuff. Sorry, that's just how I search things. I'm just being real.
I'm just being real, boo-boo.
Anyway, the year 1716 was a highly volatile transitional period in European history. The old feudal medieval world was firmly over, and the early modern era was shifting into overdrive. The primary historical context of 1716 revolved around securing the new British throne, the aftermath of massive continent-spanning wars, and a sudden shakeup of traditional international alliances. So did you hear that? There was a massive continent spanning of wars. Or wait, it said... Never mind.
Oh, no, up here. You're all right.
Should I just read it over? The primary historical context of 1716 revolved around securing the new British throne, the aftermath of massive continent-spanning wars, and a sudden shakeup of traditional international alliances.
Wow.
Alright, and then you guys can Google that if you want to as well. Some more stuff. And then, sorry, I looked up how rich was the Kingdom of Britain in 1716. And it says, from 14 sites, in 1716, the Kingdom of Great Britain was one of the wealthiest nations on earth, but its wealth looked very different from today. By modern standards, everyone was poor, but by 18th century standards, Britain was an economic powerhouse on the verge of global dominance. Historians estimate that Great Britain's gross domestic product in 1716 was roughly 60 million euros to 70 million euros, adjusted for 310 years of inflation and economic scaling. That represents hundreds of billions of dollars in today's money. To understand how rich the kingdom was, you have to look at the individual wealth of its people. Britain had a rapidly growing middle class, which was rare for Europe at the time. And you maybe ask, why was Britain so rich? Britain's wealth did not come from gold mines. It came from a highly sophisticated financial and trading system. The commercial revolution, the invention of modern banking, global shipping dominance. Yeah. And the dark side of wealth, the colonies, the Sugar Islands, Jamaica, Barbados, the transatlantic slave trade. In 1713, Britain secured the Asiento, a highly lucrative monopoly contract to supply enslaved African laborers to the Spanish colonies. You guys can let me know what else you'd like to hear, but here's back my Andrew.
The average salary, which I saw there, was 10 to 12 pounds a year, which is nuts. But back then, that must have been a pretty good living wage, considering everything else. We now have copper bottoms, excuse me. Cotton bottoms. Wooden ships are a rich feast for many marine animals and a home for all manner of weeds and barnacles, and those barnacles need to be scraped off. But having copper is toxic to worms and weeds. It improves the sea-keeping qualities and the extended working life of a ship. Historically, it worked well in keeping the hull clean, but thanks to an electrolytic reaction with iron bolts used to hold a ship together, the bolts rotted away. The iron, the copper, and the seawater created a battery, and the unintentional iron cathodes were damaged by the reaction. That's so interesting. They created little batteries between the rivets, and all the rivets came out. All the iron bolts came out.
What? So are they sinking?
Well, I mean, this had to be constantly repaired, I'm sure.
What can we do about that?
Oh,
Is this a message for us, or what is this?
no, this is a technology that we just researched. So it keeps us. Ships are a little more expensive, but they travel faster. So
Okay.
the next thing we're looking at is flintlock cannon, which is going to reduce cannon's loading time for ships. Can actually take a look and see if that's really what we want to do. There's improved grape shot. What's up?
I'm gonna grab an apple. Would you like one?
I would love one, please. Thank you so much. 3 turns until fire by rank. 3 turns until 1720. Not really. I think each year is split into 6-month periods. Our big old ship has arrived. And it is ready to take some nodes.
Yes, Captain. Haul away!
Awesome.
Awaiting further orders.
That's going to be making us, 3,675 more coin per turn. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, this game really wants you to go a financial route. So that's what we're going to do. Andrew Plummer has just earned per turn research points for military technologies. That's awesome. He's our armchair general, which in terms of ministers, I don't see that, and I don't know what that means. So thank you so much. That's so very kind of what.
You just they have a little
What's
bit
going on? I heard that they're making a movie for that with Skeletor and stuff. I can't remember that. It was before my time in the 80s, I think.
With He-Man,
They're making
Guardians.
they're making a movie.
I think it's made.
Has it been made?
Yes.
Let me know, chat. Chat.
Masters of the Galaxy.
Jamaica.
Or is it Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, it ain't that. It ain't that, boy. Look at this big old Spanish Navy just chilling here. Yep, they took Morocco. See, I called it. With light galleys and a couple of 6-rates. Laughable, sir. But you are an economic powerhouse right now, so I really can't laugh at you. We have some good gold. We just made some more units. So the land invasion of the United States. Yeah, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. If they just made it,
Yes,
I'm
Your Majesty.
gonna scream like a little girl.
Ship's
No, I'm not gonna
orders.
do that.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah! Oh my god, they just made it? Oh my god, we should go see it. That's amazing. To me. And that's the end of this episode. But y'all come back later, you hear?
Bye, everyone.